Hello, hello. Welcome on in. I'm Anna Carol Porter, the concierge therapist. And so what I do is tap into the collective energy. I see a lot of different energy through the week with a lot of clients all over the world. And I just shape that and into something that the general public that are tapping in can watch and maybe receive some community in that, knowing that you're not alone, and also receiving healing with that. And so at first I tap into the collective energy, I talk about it a little bit, what the message is that they need to hear, and then I do a hypnotherapy segment in this. And so once we reach the hypnotherapy segment, just make sure that you are reclined back. That's the best position to be in. Never driving or operating machinery of any sort, okay? So, with that being said, let's just tap on in. So we're coming out of that Valentine energy. Mardi Gras is about to end. So there's been a lot of excitement because we've, been on one calendar year, New Year's being January 1st, and over here on another calendar, coming into February 17th, year of the horse for the Chinese New Year. And so, yeah, just a lot of buildup, a lot of excitement, but also in that, a lot of recalibration. That's been the theme this week, is like this constant recalibration. And so if you've ever watched some of my prior videos, or been a client of mine, you know that I take us into a control room made just for you. And in that control room, you can tweak and adjust things. But I also give the opportunity to sort of hit a save button on the way out. And that's the whole reason I put that little save button in there, is because nature is that we're constantly evolving, right? So we're constantly making these little tweaks and changes, and energy is still continuously coming at us, right? And so be in that. I encourage you gently just to be in that natural state of flow, where maybe that recalibration is perhaps even your chi, knowing just exactly what to do, where to go. Let that integration of all that goodness, of that work that you've been putting into, make its changes naturally. Don't put up any resistance if you can help it, and you can even be aware of that resistance. Catch yourself and invite the change, embrace it, embrace this new year. And so when we're making changes like that and we're healing often looks like one step forward, two steps back, three steps forward, two steps back. It's I've talked about that before too. There's just a little bit of back and forth, and that's that recalibration that I'm talking about. And so just continuing to shed some more, letting that go as we're sort of pulling that rubber band. Like, it feels like that rubber band action. So we're pulling it back. We're cleaning up some of that last cyclical karmic patterns that we've been in. We're getting ready to embrace this Fire Horse New Year, right? So, and with that, just consider that when you're healing, again, you're always on your own journey, in your own lane, having those blinders on to everybody else. And so time when you're healing is really irrelevant. You're going to continue to get lessons, or whatever it is, over and over and over until you finally learn it. And it's not a bad thing. It's not judgmental of when you get it. It's just, that's what's going to show up until you finally do make that change. And it's there as a teaching tool to bring you into your highest self in this existence. And so never be scared of the changes that are being made, and just try to embrace them, and just ride that wave and ride that balance and ride that flow as you're getting that integration. And rest and drinking water. I can never say enough about it. Eating good, movement, exercise. That's always just going to be your key ingredients to a better day, a better week, a better month, a better year, years to come, right? Okay, so another thing that I'm seeing and hearing a lot in the office this week is wanting to not only end that change, letting go of some old stuff that's been happening in your life, but even just letting go of old things in the house, taking down the old, putting up the new. There's been a lot of decluttering, cleansing out, giveaway, all that kind of stuff. And it frees up space, right? It frees up space for new things to come in, new partnerships, new energy, wealth and abundance. When we show up empty, our cup can be filled, right? And our cup can overflow, so and that's when we get to be able to share with others the goodness in our lives, is when that cup is overflowing. That's the proper time to share. And then, when your cup is empty, rest and let it be filled with the love and the light coming from source, right? Okay, so with that being said, let's just go ahead and get into the hypnotherapy for today. This is just going to be a short and sweet one. I have a lot of other messages to get out, and I probably will get a few more out today if I don't know. I feel in this very creative space today, and a lot of you might feel the same way. Just feeling that love and filling my own cup. I did get flowers, for grand opening and Valentine's, and then today I even still went and got myself some white roses and some tulips, because there's deals on the flowers right now, and it's just so nice to have all the color and the happiness and the live energy bouncing around the room, right? And I get to take care of it and love on it and watch it and nurture it, nourish it. Well, nourish it too. I have been getting good plant food. But even like I made homemade hair gel today for the first time ever. And it was just like a flaxseed hair gel. It took me like 10 minutes, maybe cost less than $1 to make. And put some of my favorite essential oils in it. And I'm just like so, just bouncing and loving in that energy. And do the same. Let your inner child out to play. Maybe do some coloring, get in the kitchen, do some cooking, enjoy time with family. Just enjoy that bubbly love that's coming up all around you, right? Okay, let's get into it. So I'll go ahead and let you get into a reclined position. Get whatever you need beside you. We're just going to close our eyes when you're ready. Okay, and so if you can't join us on this segment right now, just know that you can come back to this video anytime you wish. And remember to like, share, and subscribe to the videos that you resonate with. And, not all messages will resonate with you, but if this one doesn't, there'll be more recordings that do. So anyway, let's do our hypnosis. The eyes are now closed. And let's start with 3 deep breaths, slowly and deeply. 3 deep breaths, slowly and deeply, as you begin to release and relax and let go, just settling into whatever solid support is beneath you, holding you, giving you that comfort, that security. And so let's begin with your toes and your feet and just softening, relaxing. And as we bring that attention to your feet, as you just follow my voice going up the body, softening, smoothing out any kind of tensions, and letting go of anything that doesn't serve you. Right here, right now, let it go. And push it down into the earth like the good compost that it is. So perhaps it makes beautiful flowers. And so now just following my voice up the body, up through the ankles and the shins, up through your knees, your thighs, your hips, all along the pelvic area, up through your belly and that solar plexus area. And some of you have been doing a lot of hard work on this solar plexus area, getting that I can, I will, I do, that empowered strength behind you in that gut, really bringing up the fire and getting ready to project forward, almost like a rubber band being slowly pulled back, ready for action. And so moving up through the belly, up into the chest. And from the chest up to the shoulders. And then bring your attention to your fingertips and invite and allow softening and soothing through the fingers, the hands, the wrist, up through the forearms, through your elbows, upper arms, back to your shoulders. And then see if you can just drop your shoulders from your ears a little bit more, and then softening the neck. And maybe perhaps you feel the urge to swallow there, and just loosen that fascia that much more right there in the neck. And softening all around your jaw, your ears, your mouth, your nose, your eyes, all facial muscles and tissues up to the forehead, up to the crown of your head. And now feel that softness just sort of splay out, and sort of that energy just sort of melt down. And it melts down the back of the body, and perhaps even the front of the body, the sides of the body, all softening now, moving down the back of the head, down to the neck, all the tiny little neck muscles, soothing and smoothing. And so from the base of the neck, down the spine, strengthen the spine with each and every breath. And as we strengthen the spine, strengthening the core, that solar plexus area. And you can wear yellow to strengthen your solar plexus. You can eat yellow foods. You can color with the color yellow. Same thing with all the chakras. Find out what chakra you feel like you need healing. Find out its color. There's a key, a chord that matches each chakra, and tuning the chakras. If you have somebody you know that uses tuning forks, lots of different things. And so soothing through the shoulder blades, and then bringing that down through the hips, the glutes, down the backs of the legs, down to the ankles, the feet. And so again, I just want you to start from the crown of your head, and then do one last good scan all down through the body, and just sending anything that doesn't serve you into the earth like the good compost that it is, letting it go. And moving forward in a positive way. So this is your time and your space to go within and be open and receptive to new ideas, new suggestions on how to move forward with your life. And so in just a moment, I'm going to start counting backwards from 5 to 0. And when I reach 0, you'll enter the hypnotic sleep with your permission. And so as we just Bring in that breath, sending it down and out, and then bringing it in and sending it to all of the extremities of the body, all the crevices, all the corners, and then bringing in some light healing energy, like the thought of, or imagine, visualize, picture, pretend. A beautiful healing light energy comes in with your breath. And it rejuvenates you and heals you, and you send that all throughout the body. And it ends up giving you a really wonderful night's sleep. Getting the circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythm and body healing. And so now at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0, deep sleep. In this deeper state of sleep now, just riding that wave of life, riding that beautiful energy, like almost catching a beautiful heart, almost in the shape of a balloon, and just grabbing on and floating and bouncing on the energy of love. And as you're floating and bouncing along, realizing how that is so signifying to what you've been going through in this constant recalibration phase that you've been feeling of, you just go with the flow. And sometimes the save button isn't meant to be hit in the control room or in life, and you just continuously flow. And you ride it and you see where it's going, and you let go of the reins of controlling the outcome and just enjoy that back and forth and recalibration, and know that it's only a period of healing and integration and rest. And that it's always a learning opportunity to be in that space. And so as you're closing final cycles out of karmic cycles or workaholic cycles, which is karmic, right? Relationship cycles, you notice how the karmics in your life, whoever they may be, which oftentimes is family, past lovers, sometimes friends, colleagues, they always seem to come in when you're on the precipice of something huge and really make a muck of some things, right? They can feel your energy being pulled into another direction, and it becomes about, what about me? What about me? And you just haven't had the time or space or want to deal with that lately. So you've just been letting it sit because you're in this recalibration, reintegration phase of, you just don't have it in you for the karmics. And that they're gonna have to figure out it their way, because they're, to the people I'm talking to, there have been a lot of times in your life that you could have used some help. You could have used some attention. You could have used some love. You could have used some help figuring things out, somebody showing up, being an extra pair of hands. And when you turned around or looked around, there was nobody. And you figured it out on your own. And you remember how rewarding that was. And so sometimes now, most often now, when those people arrive in your life, you're giving them the growth space for them to figure it out rather than enabling them. And it feels good. And yes, there may be times where you have a little bit of guilt feeling or questioning your worth as whomever you are in that relationship. But again, there's always reward in people figuring out things for themselves and showing a little bit of hard love. It can be tough. But you're learning that you are so very important and that you have to come first. And everybody else can come and be given to when you have the energy, the means, whatever it may be. But that you've been more focused on embracing this new change, because it's tough. Yes, there may be tears, but it feels really good. And it's a very personal journey. And you have to create that space for yourself for that integration to happen. And when that integration is happening, you will be rejected, not rejected, but you will reject everything that comes towards you that's not in alignment with those changes that you're making. It will not feel normal. It will not feel good. And so you're learning the importance of spiritual hygiene, just hygiene altogether, of taking out the old and creating space for new. But you don't always have to go and fill this space with new, allowing that to come in organically through divine source, through that love energy, through success. It's always good to keep some open space, being that open and available, and being the things that you want, no matter how big they are, being attainable. And knowing that you are capable of amazing things. You're capable of great, significant change. You are capable of being healed, that you're not broken. And that scars are proof of where you've been and what you've learned. And it's okay to have a scar. And it's okay when you feel broken to feel that and sit in that energy and sit in that void of everything that you felt was stripped from you. And in that empty space is where you begin to be filled up again and become whole. In that bottom of the rope, in that I've had enough, in that I can't feel this way anymore. I can't do this anymore. I can't sweep this under the rug anymore. In that I surrender. I have now realized that all these things that were working for me before are no longer working for me. And I don't care how much of my identity was through those things and for how long. Sometimes the old book closes and a new one begins. And it's got fresh pages that are ready to be filled with your wisdom, your story. You being the main character. Maybe you're on the hero's journey. Maybe you're healing the wounded warrior's heart. Maybe justice and balance prevails. Maybe you have become the master DIY. What's in that new book? We've read through that old one. We know the ins and outs. We know the darkest of dark. We knew the highs. We knew the middle valleys. It's where you came from. It made your character. But then you cut it loose. You cut it loose like cutting loose the apron string of a over-coddling parent. You cut it loose like the figurative ropes that you had tied around you. And you set it free. And you, again, just sort of drop it to the earth. And let it go through its own cycle of energy of becoming something bigger, just like you are. And you find that new, rich, dense, nutritious soil that you want to plant in. And plant those beautiful seeds of what's to come. And then you cover them up. And then you sprinkle them with goodness. And then you walk away. And you let the divine take over in that creation. Sure, you can come back and check. Give them a little love. But you don't over coddle. It's not a watch pot when you're healing. You let it go, you rest. You remember how far you've come. And then you take all of that new cleansed energy and growth and all the things, the fruits of your labor being harvested. And that's what you put in your new book. The growth after the storm. What does that look like for you? From where I'm sitting, it looks pretty bright. So let those showers come. Let it wash all of the sadness, all of the pain, all of the darkness, all of the negativity away. And you just begin to bloom. Blooming into spring soon. Feeling that healing warmth of light all around and all through you. And feeling the gratitude of the opportunities that were given to you to shape and mold you into what you are today and what you're becoming. And with that, we begin to let the images begin to fade away nice and slow. And we begin to reinforce the good, the positive, and true of this experience as each and every day resistance to positive change decreases and the negatives are vented out in early morning positive dreams. So reinforcing the good, the positive, and the true at 0. Coming up with a cleansing inhale and release at 1. 2, becoming aware of where you placed yourself. 3, this rejuvenated, energized, magnetized, excited, loving feeling all around and all through you. And you can't help but begin to smile. And your forehead soften. And no matter how hard you try to not smile, you can't help but do it. And you can't help but get a little giggle. And you can't help but think about how you wish that you could just come on up and out already and that I would go on about my day. And so at 4, coming on up and out, and now 5, eyes open, wide awake and alert. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eyes open, wide awake and alert. There you go. Hope you feel wonderful. I hope you have a great week ahead. I hope that you smile a lot. I hope that you shine everywhere you go. And I'll see you next time. Bye.